Hi guys, our learning intention for today is to be able to solve equations where there's two inequality signs. Let's look at an example question. When you have two inequality signs, they look horrible, but really they aren't. All you do is split the two bits up and solve like you have done before. Then you put them back together at the end. Let's have a look. Solve 5 is less than 2x minus 1, which is less than 13. So we're looking to solve for the values that x is between. The first thing we do is take the left-hand side of the equation up as far as the second inequality sign and write it as its own equation. We then solve for x. To solve for x, you leave the x on one side of the equation and move the numbers to the other side of the equation. To move values to the other side of the inequality, you do the opposite. And remember, in algebra, whatever you do to one side of the equation, we must do to the other. So we must move the minus 1 to the other side. To do this, we'll add 1 to both sides and solve for our remainder. 5 plus 1 leaves us with 6, which is less than 2x, and the ones on the other side cancel out. I now want to solve for x, so I divide both sides of the equation by the value that x is times by, i.e. divide both sides by 2. This leaves us with 3 is less than x. We then solve for the right-hand side of the equation. Write down everything up to the first inequality. This gives us 2x minus 1 is less than 13. We now solve for our inequality as usual. To solve for an inequality, you want the x on one side of the equation and the numbers on the other side. To move numbers to the other side of an equation, you do the opposite. Don't forget that in algebra, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. I want to move the 1 to the other side. Therefore, I add 1 to both sides of my equation. This gives me 2x is less than 13 plus 1, which gives us 14. I have 2 times x is less than 14, and I want to find the value of x. So I divide both sides by 2. This leaves me with x is less than 7. To solve our inequality, we now bring together our two solutions. This leaves us with x is a value that is greater than 3 and less than 7, where x is an element of a real number. To draw this on a number line, we will draw our number line going from 3 to 7. Draw an open circle at 3 and 7, and draw a line between them. This represents that x is any value that is greater than 3 or less than 7.